Good afternoon for those people that are watching, and hello to those people that are watching this later after the fact as a recording. We're getting close to the end. And so, uh, really, this is going to be number one. Obviously, if you have any questions or concerns, just shoot them into the chat board, and I will address them as things come up. But we're getting to the end, and I really just want to kind of give some closing remarks as far as, and we're going to do more live streams, but I do want to give some remarks about what we should be doing as we come to the end of this online learning period of time. We're coming to the end of the school year, and it sucks that we're saying goodbye to each other digitally instead of in person. But here's what the end of our class is going to look like. First of all, we've got this electricity test that is still open. I'm going to leave that open until probably the third week of June. So you have lots of time to write it as much as possible. Again, I want to stress that. If you do worse on that test than your mark was on March 13th, it doesn't count. So really, in doing it, it's really just a boost to your mark. It's open book. You have 5 opportunities to do it. Do your best. Okay. So that's the number one thing. Number two is space is ongoing. I don't know how far we're going to get into space because, of course, time is now limited. If this were the normal school year and we had 5 lessons a week, then we would certainly get through it, no problem. Now I'm not sure, but of course it is. I hate saying it because I feel bad, but it is the least important unit. There's some important science in there. There's some good science in there. So I feel bad saying this, but it is less important than the other 3 units because it's never going to come up again in high school. So we're doing it. If we have time to get through it all, that's great. If we don't, we don't. What the assessment for that unit is going to look like is going to depend on how much of it we get through. Certainly, it's going to be a very, very easy assessment, whatever it might be, just to kind of say, hey, did you check the notes? Here's some marks for that. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. We're kind of on the wire right now with it. What I will do, though, is if time gets short, and we're running out of time and we're not going to get to everything, what I'll likely do is I'll do 2 things. The first is that I will release all of the space notes and all the space videos all at once. And so if you're curious, you can go in and you can grab those lessons and you can read them, and I urge you to do so. But the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, listen, I'm going to release all the notes, but you're only going to be tested up until this point. So you can read past this if you want. You can do the work past it if you want, but you're only going to be tested up until this point. That's to be fair. That's to make sure, because what's my philosophy is we want to do as much learning as possible during this period of time. We want to learn as much. We want to take in the learning. We want to get as much out of it, but we want to do it with the minimum of stress because it's not fair to you. Okay. So I think in that way, and again, we're going to play it by ear because we're getting close to the end, and I'm not going to panic about the space unit. Okay. The third thing that I wanted to talk about was what you may have noticed today is that I posted 3 bonus assignments in the quiz tab, and I think you probably got a notification that they were made available. If they're not available, then I will go and unhide them now. I'm pretty sure that they are available. I'm just checking right now. They should be revealed unhidden. Oh, no, they're not. So I will reveal them all at the end of this video. I will make them open to you because they're still hidden. Unfortunately, that's my bad. I thought I set it to unhide automatically, and I must have made a mistake there. But I will unhide them at the end. What you're going to find in there, they're entitled bonus assignments. We are not doing an exam. We're not doing a lab practical. That final 30% of the course that would be devoted to a culminating or a lab practical and an exam, we're not doing. We're not responsible for doing that. You're not obligated to do it. But the nice thing about those sections of the course in normal times is that they give you a second chance to attack some of the content that has already passed. And so I don't want to take that away from you, but I also don't want to make anything mandatory. So those assignments are bonus. If you want to do them and you do well, I'll count your mark. If you do them and you don't do that well, I understand that, you might not do well because it's not the best way to do things. It's not the best environment. We're not in normal times, and there are a lot of circumstances for which you might not do well. Then I won't count the mark. If you feel like between your 4 classes, it's been a lot of work, and you don't need one more thing on your plate, don't worry about it. You don't have to do them. Okay. If it were regular times and you didn't show up for the exam, you're getting a 0. That sucks. Okay. It sucks to suck. But in this period of time, if you don't do these bonus assignments, that's okay. They're just that. They're bonus assignments. All right. And so they're there if you have the time, or if you have the mindset, or your stress levels are comfortable enough that you can say, hey, let me give it a shot. I'll try them. See if I can boost my mark a little bit more. Give me a couple extra % before the end of the year. Because that's really what I want. It's meant to be a reward for you. You stuck through it. You're here at the end. Let me give you as many opportunities as possible to up your mark. 1, 2, 3%, whatever you can do before the end. You deserve it. Okay? But if it's tough for you, if this online learning thing hasn't worked for you, and listen, it hasn't for a lot of people. Okay, this is not how we want to be teaching you. This is not how we want you to be learning. So I totally understand. Forget it. Don't do them. Okay, don't worry about it. So there, if you want to do them, that's why we call them bonuses. If you don't have the time, if you don't have the mindset, if you just got a lot going on, then don't. Okay, it's totally okay. It's there. It's your choice. Okay, and that's why you'll see that they are bonus. They're bonus assignments. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, so I don't forget, I'm going to go unhide them right now. Make visible. Make visible. And make visible. So yeah, so what you'll notice is they're out of between 25 and 30 marks each, and there's 3 of them. 1 for chemistry, 1 for biology, 1 for physics. Okay? So between 25 and 30 marks, I tried to pick, easy to medium difficulty questions for you to try in case you do want to do them. But it's your choice. It's dealer's choice in this case. You do as you see fit. If you have the ability and the time, go ahead and do them. If you don't, that's okay. Finish the electricity test, get that mark in, do the best you can, and move on. And of course, we're going to continue doing these live streams right up until the end. Now, this is the 10th. We'll do one on the 17th, and then we'll do one on the 24th, and that'll take us to the end. I mean, we're so very, very close to the end. Everybody right now is passing the class. Now, not everyone's mark is the greatest, okay, because there's been a mixed bag as far as who's been completing work. Some of you have done really, really well. Some of you have had certain challenges in this online period of time. But everyone has done enough to justify passing. Okay, so right now in this class, everybody is going to receive a passing grade. And that's a combination of, yes, your mark has been good. You've kept up with notes. Your progress in going through the notes has been okay. And so that gets everyone to a passing grade. I'm really happy with that. Again, your mark may not be the mark that you wanted, or it may not be considered a great mark, but many of you are getting a credit. Okay, you're all getting a credit, and I consider that a success. What scale you fall on there, well, that's going to depend on how much effort you put into this online period of time, this online learning period of time. But everyone's passing. Okay, and a great many people have upped their marks from March 13th. They've upped a couple marks. I think almost everybody has increased their marks just a little bit, at least. So that's a good thing. That's a really positive thing, and that says a lot to you guys. That's a lot of credit to you guys. What's going to happen with marks is that in that last week of June, our marks are going to be due. So we're going to do report cards. You will receive a mark. If you failed a class, you're going to get an I. Nobody in this class is going to get an I. Everybody passed. Okay. An I means incomplete. That means you didn't get the credit. That's not going to be anybody here. So everybody's going to get a mark. out of this class. Everybody's going to get learning skills from this class, and everybody's going to get comments from this class. Now, some of those comments may say, the online learning portion was not well done, so this mark is reflective of the mark prior to March 13th. And some of you may get marks that, don't have that comment because you stuck through, and that's what we can expect. But it's good news for everybody because everyone did what they sort of needed to do to make sure they got the credit. And I think what you have to understand is it's been a difficult time for everybody right now in terms of learning. And so I'm really, the point is you're going to get a mark, you're going to get learning skills, you're going to get comments. I don't know how those are going to be made available to you. I assume they're mailing out report cards, but I don't know that. But we are required to do those things for you. And so those things will be available to you. And so you can let your parents know somehow. I have to do it, and so you're going to be able to read it somehow. I don't know whether they're mailing it or whether there's going to be a digital report card provided to you. I have no idea about that, but I know it's going to be available. I know you can check your mark on MyPath, and so that will come out for you, and you'll see your mark almost right away. But I don't know how you're going to, but I have to do those things, and so you'll be able to see them. And there will be comments about, yes, you did really well. You did really well in the online portion during the lockdown. You did really well there, or this mark is sort of based on before the lockdown and after the lockdown. Hard to say, and that's something that I don't mean to disparage. That's not meant to be disparaging to anybody. That's meant to say about how much curriculum did you get. The first part of the course when we were in class together, you did this well on, and then after that, it's hard for me to say how well you did on it. But everybody did well enough to pass, so that's good. Okay. So that might be something that you take to heart to say, okay, how do I know whether I should pursue chemistry or physics or whatever it is in the future? Well, I know I didn't really do any of the biology unit because I wasn't online during that unit. It took me a while to get some technology going, and so maybe biology is not my thing, or maybe I have these concerns. And if you have those concerns about where should I be going next year, or where should I be going in grade 11, I urge you to email me. And I will talk to you, or I'll email me and I'll give you a phone call at home. I'll talk to your parents at home and kind of discuss your progress in that way. I'm available by phone. Just send me an email. Say, listen, my parents want to have a quick talk with you. Can you give us a phone call? And I will do that. I'm happy to do that for you because those comments are coming out, and I want to make sure that sometimes it's hard to do it in 3 sentences to have that conversation. And a lot of the times I would have that conversation in person with you in the classroom, and we can't do that right now. So I just want to make sure that I'm available for you when those comments do come out, that if you want to make you want me to make a phone call home, I can do that for you, talk about it with parents. So that's available to you. The AP science class is running. It's online. There's 2 teachers. It's myself and Miss Taylor. I'm hoping that I'm able to take, and I don't know what kind of pull I have in order to do this, but I'm hoping to be able to take as many people from this class currently that I'm teaching who want to take the AP science class and transplant them into my section. And I'm doing that because I just think you've spent the semester online with me, kind of knowing what I do in my style and whatever it is. And so you're kind of accustomed to sort of a routine. And I think maybe it's just an easy transition to say, let's just continue into July, even though it's going to be a little more work in July because we're going to be posting lessons every single day instead of, 3 hours a week or whatever, what have you. It'll be a few hours every day. But I just think, so I'm trying to, I can't make any promises to whether I'm able to do that. Some of you emailed me and asked and said, can I be in your class? I don't have an answer for that right now. I'm certainly trying. Everyone that I know to kind of, let's transplant these kids, just make it an easy transition because they know me, and learning online is a pain, and it's not the way that I want to teach. It's not the way they want to learn. But at the very least, have a little bit of routine. Let's not transition them into somebody else's style. Now, Miss Taylor's a wonderful teacher. She's an excellent educator. But this is the way no one wants to educate. So I just think sticking with routine is good. So that's something that I'm trying. I know some of you have emailed me and said, can we be in your class? I don't know if you can. I don't have an answer for you, but I'm trying. I'm working on that. Okay. Now, if you want to take the AP Science class and you haven't signed up yet, I think the last date is June 12th. So please make sure that, and that's Friday. So please make sure that if you haven't signed up, that you speak to guidance, Cathedral Guidance. So you're either going to call your vice principal, or you're going to call the guidance department at Cathedral High School and get in touch with someone and say, sign me up. Have your parent call and say, sign me up for that AP science class. Okay? Because that's going on in the summer. All right, and you want to be in there. If you want to take AP in grade 10, then you need to be taking that class online in the summer. And really, you know, I wish we were in person. The one benefit is, you know, those uncomfortable seats, the stools that we sit on in science class. Well, last year, the biggest complaint from our AP science class in the summer was that they had to sit there for 5.5 hours a day on those stools. It's not particularly comfortable. So now, at least if you choose to take the AP Science class this summer, you can do it on your sofa, on your couch, on your office chair, on your kitchen table chair, whatever it is you have that you sit on that's not the lab bench stools. So it's going to be a little more comfortable for you, even though it's not the ideal online learning situation. You're going to be comfortable. I'm always trying to look on the bright side, okay? So that's really the news that I had for you. Make sure that you are doing everything that is posted, you know, because we're now at the point where it's like, do everything you can to get your mark as high as possible before those report cards are due for us, for me to fill out, which is going to be that last week of June. So the week of June 22nd is the week that report cards are going to have to be done for grade 9 and 10 classes. So please make sure that you're doing everything you can to get everything in. Unless I've made a mistake, I've left all the due dates for things open. So there's no due date on the electricity test that's there. You can do it anytime. There are due dates on those bonus assignments. That's only because I want those in by a certain time, but you have plenty of time to do those. So make sure at your convenience you finish that. Okay? And of course, at this period of time, you know, the world is right now, in my lifetime, I'm seeing things that I've never seen before in the world right now. I've never seen a pandemic, you know, like this before. It's new to me. It's new to you. Okay, so of course, remember that when we're coming up with our final marks and we're working on this course, I understand that that's a stressful period of time. Okay, there are other things going on in the world right now that I look at and I go, these are people standing up for what is right and what is just. And I hope that, you know, science should be important to you and school should be important to you. But I hope that you understand that what is right and what is ethical and what is moral, you know, as a Catholic educator, you know, what is right and what is moral and what is ethical is the most important thing that we can do right now. So hopefully, without getting political, as I don't want to get political because I'm an employee and I'm getting paid, and I don't want to get too political, but I just want to say, I hope that we understand to be ethical and to be right is our priority. To get a good mark is a good priority too, but to do the right thing is the most important thing that we can do each and every day of our lives. And when people aren't treated fairly, that's wrong. That's wrong. You know, that's I can't abide by that. And so I hope that, you know, as you finish up your courses and you finish up the semester, the last thing that I want to leave you with in today's live stream is what it means to me to be a Catholic. And to be a Catholic means that we make sure that we stand up to injustice. If the system isn't being fair, then we recognize that the system isn't being fair, and we vocalize that the system isn't being fair to people. Okay, because I'm not cool with that, and I don't think anyone should be. Okay, and again, I don't want to get too political because I know that's not. I don't have a soapbox here. That's not what this is about. But as a Catholic educator, you know, I just have an obligation to say this is, you know, what's the right thing. Do the right thing. Okay, stand up against injustice. Stand up against racism. It's not right. You know, and I miss the days when we could look at people and say being a racist is a bad thing. That used to not be controversial. And I don't know why it's controversial now, but to me it's not controversial. If you're a racist, that's wrong. That's wrong. It's a wrong mindset. It's not a scientific mindset in any way. It's not supported by logic or reason. Okay, racism is something that's not logical. It's not supported by reason. It's not supported by data. It's not supported by science. It's just fueled by hate, and I'm not cool with that, and I don't think anyone should be. So, you know, those things are going on in the world right now, and I know that they're occupying a lot of your minds. The pandemic, the blatant injustice that's going on in the world right now. It's upsetting me. It's stressing me out. I know that it's stressing you guys out. It's keeping me up at night, tossing and turning. Those two things. And so that's why what's the point of this? It's not to preach. It's just to say, I know that there are things going on in the world right now that are more important than your mark. I recognize that. And so that's in my mind when I'm marking and when I'm doing report cards or when I'm trying to teach you and I'm setting my expectations for you, I'm keeping that in my mind. Okay, that it's not an easy time right now for anyone, and especially to be a young person right now. I think there's a lot to process and a lot to take in, and it's very stressful, and I understand that. So while I'm providing you with work to do, and it's a lot of work, and it's not, I'm trying, it's easier than it would be in class, but I don't want to make it too easy. I understand that, that it might be challenging for a lot of people, but I also understand that right now our minds are not focused on school. I know that there are bigger things going on in the world right now. So you don't have to worry about, no, school is the most important thing right now. Just relax, do what you can to get the best mark possible, but also make sure that you're taking care of yourself, your own mental health, that you are taking the time to be aware of what's going on in the world, and be an advocate for people that are being prejudiced against. Okay, that's important too. Okay, so I'm trying to help you as an educator and an adult to balance these responsibilities out and help you manage the stress. So that's all I want. I didn't intend on going on that long about it, but it's on my mind. I'm sure it's on your mind. So please make sure that you're taking care of yourselves, and that you're taking care of the people that you care about, and that you are constantly sort of thinking, well, what's the right thing? People are doing bad things. Can't abide by that, right? And if you need to speak to me or any of your educators, your vice principals, your guidance counselors, the social worker, we're all adults here that we are obligated to support you. We sort of take, when we become teachers, we agree that not only are we supposed to provide you with an education, but we're responsible adults, and we have to care for you in a certain way. So if you need people to talk to, whether that's me or whether that's another adult within the school community, social worker, guidance counselor, principal, vice principal, let us know and say, look, I'm having difficulty processing all this stuff, and I don't know. I don't know how to do it. My email is available. You can just send me an email and say, sir, this is what's going through my mind, and I don't know what to do about it. And I will answer that email, and I will certainly help you find the answers that you're looking for if you need to. And I will certainly do what I can to manage your stress, to help you you got to manage your own stress, but I want to help you manage your stress at this difficult time. If you send me an email, and they said, sir, listen, I'm not going to be able to do this assignment. I just have too much going on right now and I can't focus. I said, look, okay, forget this, do this. Okay. Forget this part, do this part. That's enough for now. Okay. I've done it. People have sent me emails, and I hope that I've provided solutions that are adequate for everyone to still learn, but to manage that stress. So please do not be afraid to email your educators. Okay, because we want to support you as young people. Okay, so if there's stuff going on and you're having difficulty processing, shoot us an email. Okay, because we're happy to talk it out with you. And if I can't talk it out with you, if it's above my pay grade to talk about the things that are going on in your mind, but I know who can help you. Okay, I'm totally capable of finding someone that is willing to talk and is sort of trained to talk to you and knows more than I do about sort of processing some of the stresses that are going on in the world right now, I will point you in the right direction in that regard. So on that note, please, at this point in time, stay strong, stay safe, take care of yourselves, take care of the people that you care about, okay? Stay healthy, okay? Find time to relax, find time to clear your minds if you need to, and do not be afraid to get in contact with any of your educators because we're here for you, okay? I don't know if I don't want to speak for every one of the educators in the building, but the educators that I know and that I've spoken to and that I'm close to, we're here for you. Okay. So with that in mind, I hope everyone has a great day. There's work to do. There's work to be done. If you're having difficulty doing it today, it's okay. You've got tomorrow. If you're having difficulty managing your time, email me. Okay. So please have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.